Sorry, my head's not all there right now, and so many things going on. I just read the the number 3 somewhere, so I said 3. This man to the top right is not one who oftentimes plays in the in a lot of online cups. Honestly, he'll play in a lot of the bigger online cups, but not in a lot of the the $100 events. So kind of cool to see him taking part today here on Acolyte in the top right from Splice. Our Red Terran player is TY. Of course, more than just $100 up for grabs today. First of all, there's also OSC points, which can qualify you into the OSC Championship at the end of the year. And of course, you also get, if you win this tournament today, a seed into our Season 3, our WardiTV Weekly Season 3 Finals. So that's also something that will be going on. As Billowy says, sorry and go. If TY is good, we'll resume this and get back underway. Just waiting for TY to say ready. And we'll get this rolling. Perfect. Alright. So back into game. And looking to see how this will continue to develop. So getting set up, getting ready to go. Gas just comes up over here and just going to be seeing the workers mining away. SCV just going to be pushing that probe around over to the side. Going to see what's going to happen. So again, probe taking some hits here and there. Reaper on the way up as well. So yeah, just some bits and pieces in the early stages of game number 1. Nothing really too crazy, just scouting around, getting set to go. So yes, I don't know if we introduced both players actually before that pause, but bottom left is our Blue Protoss player Billowy, who does play in a lot of online events. So a couple of different players when it comes to these online bits and pieces. We're just going to see this orbital finishing up, and the mule will drop on down, getting set to go. Impact did win in Impact versus Keen, so the winner of this series will play Impact in that grand final. As we get set on up here, ready to go. Game 1 of this TvP best of 3. Start on Acolyte, an interesting map. Obviously, if that in-base expand, you can see 3 bases coming up very easily, and generally can lead into some macro games because of that. It'd be really cool to see TY advance to the finals and go to the TVZ. I actually really, I say this, like, I can't just invite him anyways, but it'd be really cool to see TY qualify for the season finals of the WardiTV Weekly Season 3 as well. Again, that's an event which will generally take place, it's going to take place in November, December sort of time. And it's going to be basically a few weeks of, well, about a week of action. We have about 6 play days or something. I guess usually we have a couple of qualifiers as well. So we usually have the invited players from the WardiTV Weekly series, plus the qualified players from the qualifiers, from the players who played in the qualifiers, plus the fact you get the few invites that we had as well. And so we generally get to make a pretty awesome event. We generally get to invite a whole bunch of players, which is always a whole bunch of fun. So yeah, it'd be nice to see some of those guys playing. I think already qualified players such as Gumiho, Stats, I want to say. I guess I can find out for you guys very quickly just by going to WardiTV Weekly on Wikipedia. Yeah, currently qualified for this season, Namshar, Bly, Nurture, Gumiho, and Hero, that's it. So yeah, kind of a nice mixture of players already qualified, a few Zergs. We'll see, one more player qualifying a day. Obviously the players already qualified are not playing here today either, so see how this goes. Oracle coming across the map in the early stages of Billowy, looking to see what he can get up to and what he can do here in the next few moments. So Stargate Opener is a fairly standard one for TvP as well, of course, just allows you to do so much when it comes to bits and pieces. Going to see the Oracle there just moving around a little bit. The Marine's going to come on in, just going to try to hit this Oracle in a moment or so. One worker goes down. Marines defend this nicely. TY went into a very fast third base, which is very indicatively, very oftentimes done off of the one gas. And so he's just going straight into kind of 2 racks, Stimpack upgrade. Third CC is seen here by the Oracle. Not really much Billowy can do about that. His third Nexus is already on the way. It's not like you can just suddenly turn this into a lot of aggression. It's as though TY is going to get away with a little bit of read here in game 1 of this series. Starport on the way up as well, and I mean this is generally off the back of a third base, looking like a 2-1-1 build order. Obviously a little bit different than the generic 2-1-1 because he took the third base early, so the timings are a little bit off. And yeah, good stuff. So yeah, the timings will be a bit off, but the idea is there for the stim pack, the reactive medevacs in a moment, and you'll look to get on the map and start to deal some damage. Third CC from TY going to come down to the low ground. Scan comes down from TY onto the third base of Billowy as well, and a sentry just going to finish up here in a moment. Pylon, another one coming in here at the front. Couple more medevacs going to be finishing in a moment or two as well. More barracks coming on down, so 5 of them in total. Lots and lots of Marines just gathering together at the moment. So you are going to be seeing these Marines going to jump into the medevacs. Get set to push across. Factory going to lift off of that reactor and just going to swap it for barracks. So all about the bio production at the moment for TY. 3 CCs, lots of eco, now into just a whole bunch of bio to work with. There's a couple of Phoenix coming in, getting a couple of SCVs. Nothing too crazy just yet. Phoenix coming in, left a Marine. Marine's coming in as well, pushing back one of those Phoenix. Just looking to see what's going to happen. More Marines and Marauders coming on forwards, looking to see what's going to happen. Looking to see if they can get up to much more here over the next few moments. Couple Marines to the left hand side, going to see that Adept just to the far left too. We're going to see what else is happening, going to see the 4th Nexus on the way up too from Billowy. 2 upgrades on the way right now from TY. Everything just in terms of the macro for TY is starting to get a little bit out of control. The fact he's on 2-2, the fact he's coming up to the point where he's just got so much bio being pumped out every few seconds. The 3 CC was early, the 4th base is coming up in position. Going into the Ghost Academy 2, very late on the combat shields, the one thing I have to say. Very late to start that combat shields upgrade, but other than that, pretty good. He's had to stay very defensive because of these Phoenix. The Phoenix are a unit which obviously really are very good at dealing with drops, and especially if you keep the Revelations up on the medevacs, you can't really drop around. And you know, even if you do get a drop off, you have to be very prepared to understand that straight up. And honestly, you're gonna lose those units because the Phoenix are gonna come back. They're gonna kill the medevacs. They're gonna lift everything up. So you are on a massive timer to get damage done in time to make it work out. Again, these Phoenix just flying around, still seeing where they can go. +2/+2 upgrades still just coming out as well. A few more ghosts just being added into play. And yeah, just waiting to see what is next. A few extra barracks is going to be finishing up at the front, and TY again is macro. Not knowing any limits at the moment. This Ghost Academy is finished, so you can start setting up into that. And well, actually the Protoss players 2-2 is not too far behind the Terrans, so it's actually the upgrades a bit more even than I thought they were. Well, medevac for some reason on the way out over here does get caught by those Phoenix. So nice map control by the Phoenix to keep on top of things like that. Close light on the way up. Transition time for our Protoss player. I mean, Vikings already being brought into the composition. Love the Ghosts as well, by the way. The Ghosts in this scenario will be able to actually do quite a lot. They'll be able to EMP these Phoenix, and that will do quite a lot. These Marines are going to get lifted up, those Phoenix being useful once again, but obviously a little bit out of position to initially help deal with this. Overcharge comes down and push this army away. I like that she just stimmed his Marauders and used those as a way to initially get moving forward to there. Shipcore getting a shot down by the Vikings, but it cost him 2 Vikings. Shuts down the drop anyways, got the overcharges off in time. Still going to be seeing Phoenix over here just doing so much damage. There just isn't any anti-air to really back this up. He's losing 1 or 2 Phoenix, so a few Zealots are moving forwards as well though. He's picked up a fresh set of Vikings, and something TY has to find a way to deal with right now. He scans into the natural, sees those units there. The cannons as well will help Billowy to defend. As new units come out to try and help defend against those Zealots, obviously the Phoenix just come into play and continue to push them back. Heroes will come forwards though. I mean, not a lot of damage really done overall. It's mostly just kind of annoyances of, you know, how new reinforcements picked off and bits and pieces like that. Otherwise, this wasn't actually too terrible of a situation for our Terran player. Vikings again going to catch a couple of the Phoenix. Viking count is way lower than it once was with the number he's lost. He's gone into Liberator production, even though we do now see Colossi coming up. So we'll see if those Liberators will be enough to hold the ground, hold the lines. Otherwise, it could be a bit of an issue. Fusion Core on the way up right now from TY as well. Liberators of Viking, Marines, and a couple of Marauders. These Ghosts as well going to be moving around to the top side to see where they can go. See what they can bring to the table here. So stemming on down, we're going to see a Revelation on a couple of Medivacs once again. And still just this bio spreading around. TY being very cautious and careful with how he takes a fight. Obviously, he hasn't really taken a fight yet because he hasn't seen the opportunity to jump on on a fight. So he's been very careful about it, because you're not going to be seeing those another Marine getting picked off right away. Extra CC is building en masse right now from TY here. Game 1 of our second semi-final. Winner of this goes on to play Impact in our finals today. You still just see this group of Phoenix flying around to see what they can get up to. Another Stargate, another Fleet Beacon on the way down, Storm on the way up, Resonating Glaives, and free upgrades also coming in right now from our Protoss. A bunch of Zealots going to come through the center. Moving on over towards the right hand side, a bit of bio gathering itself together as well on that watchtower. Liberators just setting on up here as well from TY, again set and ready to go. Storm also on the way up. The bio will stem on in, we'll be looking to hit in towards this space. Actually going to get a few of the Phoenix, the last few Phoenix going down now. This has already been a fairly successful little run by. We'll get the Robo Bay as well. Sees the Colossi too, will continue to stim around, obviously buying himself time to push forward with the rest of the army into this base here. These probes have to evacuate. Fifth base is going to fall. This cannon will get rid of the last couple of Marines. Liberator's starting to push forwards though, and this is a bit of an issue too. We saw that Fleet Beacon coming down, but there's not been time just yet to actually set up in towards the next stage of that, which is obviously to build Tempest, and that's what's going to be very useful at being able to actually push these Liberators back. And the MP comes down, hits a few of the units. Obviously some of these libs in the back should push a bit further forwards again. Archon's wandering forwards, taking a lot of damage, and TY in control of this game at the moment. Those libs move further forwards, the bio's still in range. It's going to force a fight which just can't really afford to be taken right now. The MP is coming down, only one storm is dropped, and those Liberators are still in very scary numbers. The Ghosts just being pulled back as well. Good micro by TY. Everything in this fight so far is going pretty much as you expected to. I'm not sure about the stim forwards now. Liberators siege up again, bio flanking from the right hand side. The last few Ghosts are starting to fall, but the Colossi are dead as well. Stalkers will drop, and GG from Billowy. TY maneuvers his way to victory in game number 1 here. It took into this. See what's going to happen. Game number 2. Sorry, let me just reply to someone quickly. Alright, sorry for that, guys. Let's jump into this game. As we go into game number 2 of this best of 3. To the bottom right hand side from Splice, our red Terran player is going to be TY. He's going to be playing against the blue Protoss to the upper left hand side. It is Billowy. Billowy put up a good fight last game. It was just TY is a little bit too good. I don't think anyone can really deny it. The guy is just, you know, the definition of excellence when it comes to Terran play styles, and especially in terms of just, you know, larger macro army kind of plays. You know, you sort of think of TY and you think, well, he's not just the guy that can macro well, he's the guy that can really play with an army well. You give this guy an army, and he's going to position himself beautifully. He's going to work around his opponent. He's going to find those openings and all the rest of it. And it's just going to see the Nexus coming on up in the natural expansion. You'll see this SCV backing away through the center. Nexus on the way up here. We're going to be seeing the Nexus about halfway done then. Couple of probes moving around, and just going to see Twilight Council dropping up in the main base. As Twilight drops up in the main base again, there's a Deb going to be shading on for it. So Deb just coming down to the lower right. SCV going to take a little bit of damage there. Robo on the way up as well, and again just getting this set up and rolling. Twilight going to be finishing up, and again just the Reaper moving in towards the main base as well. Robo does a little bit of damage. There's the overcharged Knife Favor Scouts, but you already sees the Twilight and you already sees it upgrading. So the, you know, it's interesting, right? Seeing the blink early, super early as well at that, so we'll see what he can do with it. I mean, it's one of those things where you can understand where it can be used. You get blink early, you blink around, you can trade and take map presence much better than usual. So that's definitely something you can get up to. So just going to see this Adept pushing through the center. Oh, well, I pushed through the center, just pulling back right now. He's already just had a little bit of a peek around, a look to the bottom right to see what was up and what was going on. Raven currently on the way up. You just get set and ready to go early. Blinker is here ready as well, and again, you know, once Blink comes into play, a couple more gates, it's more pressure play than anything else. You know, this is not the sort of play which is like, God, I gotta kill like 20 workers. This is like, you know, some light pressure, get a couple workers, maybe a few units, just take the map control away from the Terran player by being present on the map with Stalkers, and using this as a way to take your third Nexus. From here, transitioning to Colossi is very powerful as well, because you already have those Blink Stalkers. And Blink Stalkers Colossi is a very natural composition, because the Stalkers will then protect the Colossi from the air units, the Vikings, which try to come in and fight against them. So Observer coming through the top. We're going to see what else is happening. And we're going to be seeing a couple of gateways just on the way up here as well from Billowy. Forge on the way down in the main base too. Just going to see another warp gate. Finish it up in a moment or so. An Immortal on the way out. Again, Observer moving down the left hand side. Couple more Stalkers just moving around, of course. I mean, now Blink's up. You'd expect maybe even a few more Stalkers on the map. I'm surprised there's only 2. He's actually mostly building into Adepts as he now builds up into Glaives. Billy, obviously going to be falling a bit behind in upgrades. +1 attack on the way. Yeah, not that far behind. He's on +1 attacks on the way too. TY actually built into a Raven, which keeps him very safe, but can also use very offensively as well. You come across the map with this Raven and drop a point defense drone. You know, during the fight, suddenly Adepts and Stalkers, their first round of shots, are not going to do anything. And so suddenly you're absorbing the first round of shots, and it makes this follow, you know, any sort of push very powerful. And so this tank push coming across, well, let's see what TY can do with it. As he, one of his main goals here would be to shut down the third base. And this is where, a higher stalker count might be very useful, for example. You have 5, 6, 7, 8 stalkers right now. You'll have a much better time picking off a marine, blinking away, picking off another marine, blinking away. Instead, he gets a shot or two and then he has to just get out there without really doing anything. So, here you go. TY going to push on in. I love this flank setup by Billowy, though. Army already positioned down to the south side, and we're going to see a couple of tanks coming in. All the turrets are going to be dropped rather than maybe the expected point defense run I was talking about. Those auto turrets working quite nicely up to the top side. I kind of like his current plan now as well, his turnaround, which is to lift up and drop up top, having killed off a lot of this army, and knowing a lot of it is far down south. He knows he can get into this natural and do some damage here for a few moments. Mothership Core out of position. Well, not really out of position, well, it is now, but also just the fact that the overcharge was not available in the natural because there was nothing on the back of the mineral line. These medevac's going to be unloading here behind the mineral line too. You're going to see one adept going down, the stalker taking some heavy damage as well. Medevac lifts up some of this bio. I'm just going to see some stalkers blinking forwards too. Middle line scoring also, and just going to be seeing a couple of connections possibly going to go off in a moment or so. A few more adepts down to the south inside, and so let's see what else they can do. Another adept just goes down, doesn't do a lot though. This Raven going to pull on over to the left. So these two medevacs pulling through the center, and again we've seen the +1 armor upgrade on the way from both players as well here. A couple more Marauders, Marines, and Widow Mines continue to come up also. Extra barracks getting set up and ready to rumble. And the two medevacs will move through the center to just try and do a little bit more themselves. The depth does go down, and we're just going to be seeing, again, TY just taking the watchtower. Still has Raven here if the auto turret's available. Still can harass, still can even point defense turret like we mentioned before. You might think I'm just getting a bit obsessed with PTTs, but it is just such a good way to use the Raven in the PvT. When you have, your Protoss player playing such a heavily reliant Adept and Stalker style, which is exactly what this is. He's playing pretty much pure gateway with Adepts and Stalkers, mostly Adepts, but the idea of, just having a Immortal or two as kind of the tech behind it. In fact, right now, one Immortal and one Sentry is the only thing on the map apart from Adepts and Stalkers. Another Widow Mine goes off, and that's a huge connection here. Now the Immortal drops as well. He'll be picking up and blinking and moving away, but the blink does get the full medevac. Nice pick off by Billowy to at least get something back for the damage he's been taken. TY though with another army ready to go. We haven't really looked at the Terran side of the map for a while because there's been no need to, but he's got the third base up. He's got his engineering bay and armory coming up as well for 2-2. Everything is timed out just almost beautifully here for TY to go into 2-2. His third base allows him to fully saturate. The next thing on his agenda should probably be a fourth base and a couple more barracks. But everything for now just looking pretty crisp. These depots may be just slightly late, but that is really the one thing we can pick up on right now. That TY is not doing well as he pushes in towards the fourth base. Another push from him. He actually gets the observer with the scan he's already invested into. He's to auto turret into the natural as well. And this Mothership Core is miscontrolled, and so it just goes down right away. Some medevacs in the main are distracting some units, and the fourth phase will be a 1 victory here for TY. And having taken that down, he'll just back away. No reason for him to stick around in this position. He'll back away and get more army before pushing into another location in another few moments. Depth and Stalker still moving around too. So we've seen these Depth Stalkers, the Immortal 2, to move around. If this orbital gun gets set to drop as well into the fourth base, just relocating his main basically at this point. I mean, gas still mineable, but he's still got minerals in the main base as well. It's just the fact that he has enough SCVs to saturate a a full base right now rather than just a half base. So that's what he's going to relocate the base for. A couple of probes going to go down here to the auto turret again, and just more and more damage being done. These medevacs still just stuck in the corner at the moment, but at the same time it is keeping a good group of stalkers out of position as well. And TY just going to be looking to reposition once again. We're going to see these medevacs loading up those Marines and Marauders. Here we go, boosting up to the top side. Liberator's coming in close behind. TY actually a bit of a big drop here, and could be just going to just hit in towards the main base. Observers are well positioned though to see drops like this coming in, so Billowy might be able to respond. Fourth base Billowy taking in the bit of a forward location now. Max moving on in. He has actually found a little bit of a gap in the vision of Billowy here, and so he is going to be able to start dropping, and he's going to be unloaded. I mean, Billowy's on his way, but man, damage is going to be done. I mean, this pylon empowers a lot of gates to the Forge as well. Killing the Forge will obviously be kind of nice, delaying +2 armor upgrades. That should be a huge thing to pick off here. You're going to see Stalker's blinking in though, so he's not going to be able to get the +2 on the Forge. And he's going to keep on fighting though, and he's going to be seen actually, I guess the Stalker's going to be good enough. CTY will actually just continue to trade this out though. The Liberator is beginning to fall, and will lose out a lot of his bio, but now another army pushing in towards this 4th base. I think that's just what TY does, right? Uses one army to, basically create a position for his other army. And this army already did damage, which means that this army coming in is just going to be way too powerful. TY, an absolute master, kind of just an